Hey there, it's Dean. It's my 21st birthday today. Yay. Awesome. Awesome. Um, Had a really good day. It's pretty chill. Kind of wanted it that way. Didn't want anything that huge. I mean, it's cool that I'm turning 21 and all, but, still kind of feels like any other day, really. I mean, other than being a year older and being able to, buy alcohol and get into clubs for $5 and stuff. It's cool. Yeah, but I don't know. I kind of like things chill, anyways. But yeah, it's my 21st birthday, and been having a really good day. At 12:30, I guess this morning, or yeah, my mom gave me a call to wish me happy birthday, and we had a really good talk. Um, So I was hanging out with Charlie at the time. We were bringing in my birthday, and it was his yesterday. So at 12, we had the same birthday. I guess we made a training time video, so you guys should check that out. And he also put a video of me on his YouTube, like a separate one. But yeah, back to the talk about with my mom. It's really nice. I haven't been that open to her about you know trans stuff because I didn't really. I kind of thought she was trying to avoid doing that, and we had a really good talk about stuff last night because I ended up going to get two new tires put on the front of her vehicle yesterday, and I got there. I was a little nervous because I didn't. There was a bunch of guys. I just didn't really want to. Just wasn't in the mood to have anybody look at me weird or stuff. I don't know. I know I can't avoid all social situations. I know I can't do that, and I've gotten so anxious about starting to go to therapy and start testosterone that I just want to get it started with. It's been 3 years now since I figured it out and come out, and I'm about ready. So yeah, I just didn't feel like having anything weird happen. But my mom, sometimes she says things to me because she doesn't really understand that people are really rude sometimes. And yeah, I can deal with it and laugh at it or understand their reasons for doing it, but not that it's justified or anything. But sometimes it's a little too much. Just chill out. I'm just put some tires on the wheel, on my truck, or I'm just gonna go to a restaurant I'm eating, don't stare at me, but yeah, I told her about how she asked me if there's ever been times where I've flipped out on anybody, and I don't really flip out on people. I'm usually just sarcastic with them, and they don't really notice that I'm being that way. So it's amusing, I guess, to me. And I told her about pride because I had two things come up. They were kind of funny. I was a bit sarcastic with two people that I talked to who I guess one guy, I don't know if he knew. I don't really know that he knew that I was trans. He looked at my ID because I was getting some cigarettes, and I gave the ID to him, and not really thinking that he wanted it, but I just wanted to give it to him anyways because I don't know. Usually cashiers ask for IDs whenever we get cigarettes. So yeah, he looked at it and looked up at me, and I was like, okay, he's gonna say something, and he was like, your name's Elizabeth. He was like, oh, your name's Elizabeth, oh. I'm like, oh, well, that's not really a good thing. I was kind of saying it low, but he still heard it. And he kept going on what he was doing and everything, and said that I surprised him. And was like, oh, I surprised you, really, great. And then he said that I made his day, he went to go back to grab the cigarettes and came back and said that I made his day. And I was like, oh, really? I made your day. You're like, oh, right, okay, right, awesome. great. I don't know, like, hopefully I really didn't make his day. Hopefully, like, there wasn't, like, some good reason as to why I made his day, because I was sort of like, I don't know if you noticed that I wasn't really into, talking to him about that, and there's, like, people walking in behind me and stuff, and waiting, at the the cashiers, like, whatever, behind me. And, and I ended up just like walking out, and yeah, whatever. There's a second time where I went to go talk to one of my like les bros, I guess. It's like a lesbian that's like a bro, and yeah, at Pride, and there's this guy there with him, with her, with him, sorry, with her, and like right in between us talking, her and I talking, he says, "You look like a guy." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Why is that?" And he stops and he's like, "Oh, you're a guy?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he like pauses. He's like, "Oh man, I feel like such an ass." Like, and he totally had the look on his face like he looked like an ass. And I mean, no offense to him, man. Not like he doesn't look like an ass, but he looked like he felt like an ass. Yeah, yeah. So and I was like, "Oh man, no, it's cool, it happens." And he started talking about how I look like a lesbian and how I could pass as a lesbian. And I just said, "Oh, that sucks," to him. And he just kind of stood there and like didn't say anything else after that, and just kind of stared like he was dumbfounded. And I just acted like it wasn't really that big of a deal. It wasn't really that big of a deal. I mean, I could deal with worse. At least like he looked like he was trying to figure it out. Like it just sucks that there's something to figure out, I guess. But he wasn't a total ass about it. But I was slightly sarcastic with him, and those two times were like the first time I've ever really like been straightforwardly sarcastic to somebody to their face. Um, and I told my mom about that because I guess she assumed that I get really mad at people, but I don't. Um, yeah, it sucks, but I have a hard time, really taking it that personally because I know that they come from different places. But, by that point, like once you're an adult, I just kind of think you should figure things out on your own, and know that it's rude to like stare at people or like, and why does it even matter, like whether or not I'm a boy or a girl to you, and like why is that, what, why? Why does that matter right now? I guess, but